Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Mike with Camping with the Convers. Today we are not out on any of our camping adventures because it's maintenance day. So today we are not going to work on maintenance on the trailer, but we're going to work on the maintenance on the truck. So today we're going to do a oil change, fuel filter change, water separator, all the air filters and the whole nine in our 2021 Ram 3500. We have the 6.7 liter Cummins High Output motor. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown on all the tools you're going to need, a couple of pro tips that I've figured out over the last couple of years changing the filters out in this thing, and show you all and your filters and give you a pretty good idea where to get them on the cheap too, because the OEM ones can get pretty spendy. So stick around with us and we'll show you step by step how to get her done. So as far as tools go, it's pretty simple stuff. You guys will need a regular Phillips screwdriver, your oil filter wrench, a 3/8 inch ratchet with just a 3-inch extension, no socket, and then you'll need the 1/2 inch drive ratchet with a 1 1/8 socket. Over here we have our Doc's diesel filter kit. You can pick these things up online on Doc Diesel's website. The entire kit will cost you about $132 to fit ours. They make them for the Chevys, the Rams, and the Fords. So you just pick out which set of them you're going to need. About a 2-foot piece of old garden hose will come in super handy. I'll show you a little trick with that one. A piece of vacuum line, 3/8 inch, also about 2 feet long. Some rubber gloves if you want to stay clean. Plenty of shop rags, a funnel. I need a step stool so I can reach up inside the, up under the hood. And that's a 4-gallon bucket with an oil catch in the bottom of it, and it fits under the truck just perfect. I forgot about the oil. You are going to need that. So I get mine off of Amazon. That's the best deal you can find on the diesel engine oil. The Rotella, $50-ish with free shipping if you have a Prime membership for the 3 gallons. So pretty solid deal. All right, we're gonna get started with the oil change. So essentially it's the same as you do any other oil change in your truck. It doesn't matter if you got a gas motor or a diesel motor. We got it set up. I'll get the camera set up underneath it here and we'll start draining everything out and get that part of it finished up. All right, so all you need to do to drain the oil out is you need your 3/8 inch ratchet with just the 3-inch extension, because there is just the drain plug in here, and have your bucket ready to catch it. And if you do it just right, try not to drop the plug down into the bucket like I did last time. It's hard to find in the bottom of 3 gallons of oil. And then just let her drain out. I did it again. Get this drain plug out of here before I make a freaking mess again. But that's what I do. Just one time. Just one time. I wish that I could take the drain plug out of that thing without dropping it in a freaking bucket and making a mess of myself. But not this time, but maybe next time. So, learn from my mistakes. Keep hold of that little sucker. She gets slippery. All right, guys, so pro tip back here. You see your oil filter right back in here. It drops down into this little space, and then you got to turn it upside down to get it out of there, which dumps all the oil out of it. Pro tip number 1, 1 gallon Ziploc bag. Take you a 1 gallon Ziploc bag and just stuff it down in there and kind of put your filter down into it. Once you take your filter loose, drop it down into the bag, zip it shut, then take the bag and the filter out together. All right, I got her loosened up in there now. Just let it sit down into your Ziploc bag. All right, so we're going to swap out this oil filter. So the Doc's diesel oil filter, it's for the 2021 Ram 3500 with the 6.7 Cummins, uses their D5335 filter. So yeah, check it out. It'll all show up on their filter kits when you log on to their website. All right, so let's get this new filter out here. And I do not pre-fill my filters. I know some people say you have to, some people say you don't need to. I do not, just because it makes that much more of a mess and just takes a second to get her filled up. So let's get this seal off of here, get her screwed on, put a little bit of oil on top of this gasket here, and we'll get this one snugged up and we'll be done with the oil filter. All right, now we're back up in here. Let's get this new filter up in there. Get her screwed on and just get it hand tight, and then we'll put a little extra something on it to snug it up. And just get it hand tightened about there, about a quarter turn with our pliers. That'll do. Oil filter done. All right, let's crawl back up underneath the truck, see if our oil's done draining out into the bucket, and then we'll get the plug put back in, start putting oil in her. Move our bucket out of the way. Very gentle, because this thing holds about 3 gallons of oil, and that's a 4-gallon bucket, so you don't have much to play with in there. And just snug this plug back up. You don't have to torque it down. There we go. That'll do right there. Done and done. Let me get a paper towel. All right, guys, so this is where the step stool comes in handy, especially with the angle of my driveway and the height of the truck. So let's get some oil in this bad boy and see what we get her fired up and check all of her levels. Hold it just a little bit short. Check the fired up. Check it out. See where our levels are, and top it off. Okay, the oil pressure went up. Didn't see any leaks. Check her levels. We'll probably have to top it off a bit. Yes, we're gonna need the rest of that 3rd gallon. Alright guys, so that is essentially how you change the oil in this 6.7 Cummins. Next up, we'll start on the front fuel filter, and then we'll work our way back to the water separator, and then we'll change out the air filters as well. So let's get started on the front fuel filter, and I got a couple of little tricks for you to keep it from making a mess up there too. So stick around, we'll get to the fuel filters here in just a second. Mention the part number on the fuel filter for up front, also Doc's diesels. It is the DGF401 is the fuel filter for up front for the 2021 6.7 Cummins. So hey, if you guys like this kind of content, like I said, it's not camping related, but if you can't pull your camper with your truck, you're not going camping. So you got to keep your truck in good shape. But if you like this content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you know when all of our new stuff comes out. And if you have any questions about your truck, I don't know much about Chevys or Fords, but if you have any questions on your Ram, or where I get my stuff or anything like that, leave that down in the comments, and I'll put a link down in the comments for where I get my fuel filters, all of my stuff, and then you'll have it. Alright guys, step number 1 for the fuel filter up front. Get yourself an old antifreeze jug or something, whatever you got sitting around the house, mason jar, anything works good. we winterize a bunch of campers, so I got a ton of these gallon jugs empty. Get yourself one of those. Get about a 2-foot piece of old garden hose. Just anything that you got laying around, you need about a 2-foot piece of it. Works perfect. It'll save you a whole lot of heartaches as soon as you start dumping out this front fuel filter. So let's get underneath the truck. I'll show you how to hook this hose up, and then we'll get her started. All right, guys. So just in front of the axle, I think you can probably see it up in there. There's a little hose. I'm going to come from the back side of it here so I can point at it. So this hose right here is the drain for your fuel filter. So if you take your piece of garden hose and slide it right over top of that hose, then run it into this gallon jug, it works out just perfect, drains it out, contains that diesel fuel so you're not getting it all over the ground or yourself. All right, so we got the hose hooked up in there. It's coming down and draining right into our gallon jug. So let's go up top and get this fuel filter pulled loose, well, drained out, pulled loose, and replaced. Drain off the front fuel filter. You see this little yellow cap right down here. All you got to do is turn that, and that'll open up the pitcock to drain out the diesel fuel that is inside your container of the fuel filter. So let's get that turned, and be on our way to changing this out. So it's all done draining down there. Let's get this filter off of here and get it swapped out. It's super easy. All right, so I know it's pretty dark down here, but so this canister is where your fuel filter is. This is an 1 1/8" socket. Works perfect on this thing. So let's get our big ratchet out, get this thing busted loose. But remember, it is plastic, so you have to be very gentle when you're getting this thing on and off. So just be careful with it. Okay, so we got it pretty loose. So what I'm going to do is take a couple of hand towels, no rags, and just wrap it around that thing to catch anything that does decide to drip out on us. So guys, if you are out here doing this, make sure you're using the old kitchen towels that the wife has given you permission to take out of the house, because once you use these things and get diesel fuel all over them, she's not going to want them back. That's still a little too tight for me to take off by hand, so let's get back in here, loosen her up just a little bit more. Okay. That's pretty loose. There we go. So you can see it's pretty much still full of diesel fuel, but she's still draining off a little bit. So I leave that pitcock open until I get the filter swapped out. So let's go ahead and pop this washer off of here. So I had to kind of finagle this thing to get loose in there. Let's get this filter up out of here. And kind of let that diesel fuel drain back down in there. That way we don't make a big mess. Let's get this one out. All right, so out with the old. You can kind of see what that one looks like. See what the new one looks like side by side. Huge difference. So let's get this new one back down in there. Press it down in there. She's done. Now we still need to change out this gasket here, so I never could get my finger hold of it. When all else fails, bust out your old handy dandy pocket knife. Just be careful that you don't scar up those threads on the canister. There's the old filter, or the old gasket off of there. So let's get rid of that one. We'll put this new one on it. It comes with the kit. So when you buy the filter kits, all of your rings come with it. So you don't have to worry about buying them separate. Get the new one on there. Get her seated on there just where she needs to be. And that's that. Now, go ahead and turn your pickcock back the way that you had it, so it should. And then be gentle. Get your threads and everything lined back up just right on this lid. Because again, it is plastic and you don't want to break anything. And you don't need it stupid tight. So just get her hand tightened up, like so. And then just give her maybe a quarter turn or so, just to make sure she's snug. And that's really all that you need. Just snug. Wipe everything down, clean it all up down here. Well, it'll be easier to see if we got any leaks once we repressurize the system after we do the water separator out back. Alright guys, for the water separator, we're going to go to the back of the truck, just by the back tire on the driver's side, up under by the gas tank is where you're going to find your water separator. That's where this 2-foot piece of vacuum hose comes in super handy. The vacuum hose I like because it's a little more pliable, and you can just get it over top of the nipple that's up in there to get it to drain off your water separator. So let's get under the truck. We'll do the same thing back there after we get the jug and the hose pulled loose from the front. And the water separator for the back is the DGF 430 for the 6.7 Cummins. And we should be just about finished up draining out the old water separator. And we'll get that swapped out with this new one and then start on the air filters. Alright guys, so we're up here underneath the truck, back behind the bed. Just on the inside of the gas tank, you're going to see a water separator up here. So you see this little nipple right here. That is your drain for the water separator. So we're going to take that piece of 3/8 vacuum line and just stick it right up on there, like so, just like that. And then it's going to run down to that same jug that you were using to catch your diesel fuel on the front end. We're going to use the same jug back here, just like so. So you got the same jug, you got your fuel line running up through there, right up to your water separator. Now off to the side of it is the pickcock for this one to drain it off. So this one just got a thing for your finger, you can turn it, loosen that up. Just don't take it all the way out. Just let that thing bleed off until she's done. Alright, so she's done draining off. So let's tighten this bad boy back up here. And again, these are all plastic, so you gotta be gentle. Let's get this off of here, let it sit down in the bucket. Same thing, that 1 1/8" socket that you used on the front one will work perfect for this one right here too. Let's get that loosened up. Okay, so I got it loosened up now to where it's about hand tight. This is where those rags come in handy again, because of course this one's upside down. Wear your safety glasses, or if you're blind like me, you got your regular glasses on. That way this diesel fuel is not just dumping right on your face. But hopefully we'll be able to catch most of it with that rag. Alright, so we got the old one out of there. Let's take this gasket loose here, take it off, place it with the new one. Again, here's a side-by-side, compare the old filter compared to the new filter. So you can see that it was definitely about ready to be done. So let's put this new gasket on here, get it seated down on there where she goes, just like so. And she's good to go. I don't know why Doc's changed their colors. Last time I changed it out with Doc's, they were green. This time it's black. But either way, she's in there. Let's get back underneath and get this one screwed back on. Alright, so I'm pretty positive I forgot to hit the record button down there when I was replacing the water separator. So when you put it up in there, that separator only goes in one direction. So it's got an oblong shape in there, so you got to make sure you twist it until it seats up in there just right. Put your cap back on and just snug it up. Again, like I said, it's all plastic, so you got to be pretty careful with them. Once you get it hand tight, take your ratchet with that 1 1/8" socket and just maybe a quarter turn to where you get it snug. So let's hop in the truck and we'll prime the system, make sure we got our filters all full, and then we'll fire it up and the fuel filter and water separator will be done. Alright, sorry about the crappy picture. I dropped my camera and it looks like I put a big scratch in the lens. So once you get inside the truck, you're just going to take your start button to the run position. Let everything prime, turn it off. I like to do it 3 times. So there's 3. Now we just start it up like you normally would. And just like that, the truck fires up. Let's go outside and make sure we're not leaking anything. Alright, so the fuel filter's done, the water separator's done, the oil has been changed. Now let's do our air filters. So for the main air filter, again, I use the Doc's diesel. It all comes in the kit. This big monster right here. So this part number for the 2021 6.7 Cummins is DPA 6314. So to change it out, all you're gonna need is your Phillips screwdriver, and I'll need something to stand on so I can get up under the hood of this thing. So let's go up there and get that done, and then we'll go inside and do the cabin air filter. All right, guys. So your air filter's inside your air box here. There's 5 or 6 Phillips head screws going around the edges. So we just got to take those loose, pop this bad boy off of here, and swap out the air filter. All right, now we're back in business. Let's get these screws out of here. Try your best not to drop them. Go ahead and pop this hose off here. Might make this a little bit easier to get the lid off. There we go. Let's just take the old filter out. She is filthy. Goodness. Alright, so take a look at this. There's stuff all over the inside of this bad boy. Mostly all bugs. So if you look down inside the air box, it is full of gunk and leaves and bumblebees and all kinds of goodies. So let's just go grab the shop vac and we'll go ahead and suck everything right up out of there and not have to worry about that stuff getting into the intake. All right, that is right as rain. Now let's do a side-by-side from the old filter to the new filter. See how she held up. All right, so it's not terrible. Old filter to new filter, could be worse. Did pick up a lot of bugs over the last couple of months trip. We've been all over the place, so I'm not surprised that it's pretty filthy. So let's get this new one dropped down in there, and we'll be set to go on this. So under the hood, it's good to go. So let's get inside the truck and we'll do the cabin air filter, because that's tons of fun. Not really. All right, guys, so now we're going to do the cabin air filter, also from Doc's diesel. Part number on this one is D3705 for the 2021 6.7 liter Cummins diesel high output. So let's go inside and contort ourselves into the spot where we use the cabin air filter. Another pro tip, grab yourself a couple of laundry detergent sheets out of the laundry room, lay those in here on top of it when you slide it in, and then the inside of your truck smells like clean laundry. All right, so first things first with the glove box. Take everything out of your glove box. And if yours is like mine, it's full of just about everything the wife could find to crunch in there. Inside here, there is a pain in the butt little space. Easiest way to get it to come loose, there's a little release button over here on the side. There we go. So you gotta take your glove box all the way off to get back to this little booger who was recessed all the way up in here. So you gotta pop these little widgets out to get the faceplate off. And then you can get your filter out, just like so. So let's get this new one out here. Do a little side-by-side comparison. So again, airflow goes down, side by side. So to everybody that you think you don't have to replace your cabin air filter, this is what they look like. There's a huge difference. So get this bad boy swapped out. Like I said, I like to use a dryer sheet in here. Just gives it a little extra something. Get it lined up in there, just like so. Lid popped on there, and that's that. Now the hard part, getting this little bugger hooked back up. She can be a real pain. Get your hinges all lined back up in there. Make sure you get your fingers on this little guy and have it pulled out and lined up the right direction. Pop back up in there. Bada bing, bada boom. And now your cabin air filter is all good to go. All right guys, so I hope this was helpful for you. I know at my dealership, if I go down to try to get a fuel and oil filter change, it's a little over 600 bucks. A little bit of mechanical skill, a couple of simple tools, and you can do it yourself in just a couple hours for under $200 with all your parts and pieces and everything that you need. So hopefully this content was good. Hopefully it helped you guys out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you are already a subscriber, thanks for coming back to the channel, and remember to keep your adventures going. We'll see you guys in about a week.